Okay, writers, you may have noticed the past couple of days you are at a point where you're like, I have nothing else to write. It's starting to get hard. I noticed that in my own writing. As we're doing some of the last couple lessons, glue sticks are in front of us. As we were doing some of the last couple lessons, I'm like, I'm really, really struggling to change things at this point and to add more to it. That's okay, because we've been working with this for a while now. So today, what I want to teach you is that as we approach the end of a writing piece, which will be 1 week from today, we're handing them in, we can look to our peers to help us revise and edit. So we are done with the adding new ideas. Now we are looking to each other to really polish it up. So we're making them shine at this point. Obviously, if you haven't finished, that is something you need to do. So we are going to enter 3 days of revising and like 1 day of editing, and then we're handing these bad boys in. So I want to talk about the difference between revisions and edits. We're just going to talk about revisions right now, to start with. November 9th is the last day of the marking period. Report cards will come like a week or two after that. Yep. So when you are, and you have this to follow along with as well, that's why we glued it. When you are revising a paper, what that means is you are making it sound better. When you're editing, you're making it look better. So that's your spelling, your punctuation, all that stuff. The next 3 days, your partners are going to help you revise. After that, they'll help you edit. So when we're revising, when we're making something sound better, that means you could be adding, changing, or deleting parts. You'll notice in mine, when I show it to you, I deleted like 2 paragraphs because I was like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make it sound better. It makes it sound worse. You could look for some worn out words, some boring words, and you could see how could you make them a little better. Like, is your character happy or is your character thrilled? So you can look for specific words to make more vivid. You can come up with an interesting lead that hooks your reader. If you haven't thought about how you want to start it, maybe your partner will have some good ideas about that. You can also do the same thing for a conclusion. The end of our story won't say, in conclusion, that's my story, and it won't say the end like some of our pre-writes did. We've grown as readers. So we're going to really write an ending that connects it back to the heart of the story. And your partner may help you. If you're stumped on your ending, they could help you really clean it up to make it sound better. You could add specific descriptions, explanations, and details, and you can reorganize your paragraphs if you want. So we're going to demonstrate this. You guys are going to be my first partner. I am going to let you choose, but it's going to be one partner today, a different one tomorrow, and a different one Monday. And here's the paper we're going to work through. So it comes in a packet. The front is the same Venn diagram but bigger, and then you've got 3 days worth of revising. So let me show this to you a little bit bigger so you can see it. So and I even labeled them day 1, day 2, day 3. So you've got the author, that's you. So every day the author should say you, and then whoever your first partner is, that's going to be the name you write there. I will be collecting these in 3 days, and they will be scored as a participation grade of how we work with a partner. So this is counting as a grade. How do you work with your partner? First thing I want you to do, I try to do this with you guys too. Before I correct a behavior or before I tell us what we're doing wrong, I try to give a compliment. If you notice in line, frequently I say, I see a lot of people facing forward. I never say, I mean I do sometimes, but I try to compliment first. After I say a lot of people are facing forward, a lot of people have their mouths closed. If the talking doesn't stop, then I'll say, okay, stop talking. But I try to lead with the compliment first. And that's what I want you to do in our writing. I love the topic you picked. Any compliment you can find. I love the topic you picked. I love the way you're telling a story. I love the way you're taking me through Story Mountain. Anything that you like. Or I like your word choice here. I like how you started it. I like how you ended it. So you need to write down, what is the compliment that my partner just gave me? So whatever they say to you, you're going to write down. And then they may have suggestions for you. They may give you a suggestion. I think we can make some of the words more vivid. I would stick with 1. Pick 1 thing to work on. How many? 1 for each partner. So today, maybe my partner is saying, you can work on your word choice. So I'm going to explain. For example, I said happy a few times. I think I really want my character to be excited or thrilled or enthusiastic or something. And then There could be an error somewhere. Maybe your partner found a run-on sentence where you didn't have a single period. Maybe your partner helped you fix that. Maybe you changed some of your words. Maybe in your revision phase there was a spelling correction. So we are going to be working with one partner today, day 1, a new partner tomorrow for day 2, and then one last partner for day 3. And then all we have to do on the last day after that is fix spelling and punctuation, and then we're done. So I want to practice this. Question to hear? You're choosing, it's not your regular partner, you're choosing from the people who are right here. So, because we're going to switch it 3 times, okay? So anybody who's sitting here at the carpet could be your partner today, but not tomorrow. So, I'm going to read you my story. We might go a little over the 10 minutes just because I'm reading my whole story. Bear with me. At the end of it, I want to fill out one of these partner pages with you guys as my revision partner, okay? So here's my story. Let me zoom a little bit. And you'll notice I did change a little bit of it to make it make more sense to me. So the last concert. I put on my green choir robe one more time. It was just as big of an honor this time as it was the first. I gave it one last sip, found my spot in line, and walked to the risers. I was soaking in every last moment, every step, every creak of the risers, every glance into the audience. I thought, nothing will be like this again. Just then, my neighbor grabbed my hands as if he knew I was letting this moment sink in. With that, everyone held hands to create one unified sound and one unified chorus. Like he always does, Mr. Powell looked out at us with a smile. He pointed to his heart, then to his head. We all thought, heart on fire, brain on ice, as he pointed. He was telling us not to think about the music anymore, just feel it with your heart. He said this before every concert. The first few songs were a blur. I don't even remember what we sang, but I know we were perfect that night. Every note, every harmony, they all blended together and wrapped us tight in a warm blanket of music. We were approaching the last song. No, it can't be. There must be more to the concert, but music already started. I wondered, can I freeze time? Does this really have to be over? This was the end. This was really the end. I began to voice the lyrics through my teary eyes, my quivering chin, and the heavy sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. I could barely even see Mr. Powell, but I trusted he was conducting us. I listened to the voices, a couple typos in there, around me, and then I joined in singing, "Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you, away you rolling river." These lyrics spoke to me. Just like in the song, I knew I would long to see this group again, to hear this group again. I thought about the vast sea of green that I was amongst. I thought about the blanket of sound that wrapped around me. Although I wanted to freeze time, I was bound away because it was time to move on. All my life I was a musician. I loved to play piano and I loved to sing. I loved standing on the risers with the singers around me. I loved that the singers around me, lost my place, felt like my family. I loved the heat of the stage lights. Standing there with Vestal Voices felt like home. It had been home for the past 3 years. What will it look like to me when Vestal Voices is over? I could see it now. I picture myself and some of my happiness is gone. What used to be heart on fire, brain on ice has become just ice. In this special group, I learned how to be a musician. I learned how to be part of something that was much bigger than myself. The feeling is something that carries with me even today. I may not be a music teacher, but Vestal Voices taught me music can be a part of my life in any way that I choose. Although my time in Vestal Voices has come to an end, I know that my music life is not over for me. I may not be singing with this family anymore, but that doesn't mean I won't forget them. It is time for me to move on. It is time for me to make music on my own, yet follow other passions. As soon as I stood on the risers for that last song, I thought to myself, I'm going to be okay. Notice as I was reading through that, I was ignoring the distractions that some people were trying to make, and that's something that we do in class as well. Sometimes people try to distract you. Maybe they're not in the right place, but we keep focusing on our job. Was it hard for me to do? Yes. Painful. Did I do it? Yes. And that's what we do as well. So I need your help editing. So that was my story. So the author, oh, wrong pen. The author is Miss F. The peer editor is the class. Does anybody have a compliment for my writing? Turn and talk. I'm going to pause this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Class. I see 1, 2, 3 hands up. Oh man, people barely have compliments. I only saw 3 hands at first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a little better. Thank you. Just so you know, starting next week, we are going to be keeping track of who turns and talks, who participates in the group, and checking it off for participation grades. So just know that's coming. Mercedes, I'd love to hear a compliment. Oh, thank you. So using dialogue. L-O-G-U-E. There we go. I'm going to take one more. Riley? Using dialogues. Describing my feelings. Thank you. All right, I need some suggestions. Should I focus on some word choice? Is there a part I need to rewrite? How's the clarity of my topic? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do I need to add detail, maybe combine sentences, or cut something? This is just a suggestion. Turn and talk. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Class.
Yes.
Any suggestions for me, Anna? What's that? She says it's perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. Cadence? Okay, so maybe so combining sentences, so you mean like look for shorter sentences, see if I can merge them? Okay, so I'm going to maybe go back and look for shorter sentences. It is off, but we're going to wrap up in just a second. I just wanted to finish this sheet. So look for shorter sentences, put them together. So I'm going to do this tonight, so tomorrow when I do a second revision page, it's going to look a little bit different. So put them together. What about my topic? Actually, we're not changing topics. That's rewriting the whole story. But is it clear enough? That means, did I bring it out enough? I'm going to go for one more suggestion, June. Okay, so maybe look for word choice. So are there any boring words? There could be. I mean, there really could be. So I'm going to go in and look for any words that maybe aren't vivid enough. What about corrections? Is there anything that we saw in there to correct? I noticed a couple that I might have to do. Anybody? Turn and talk. Any corrections that I might have to make? It's like if I said she walked to the store. It should say she walks to the store. So that's grammar. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Class.
Yes.
TJ? There were a couple spelling mistakes in there that I could definitely look for. And let me hear one more. June. Maybe not anything else. Okay. So this is what I expect to see in your papers. We are going to find a partner. So what I want to do is have you match up, and as soon as you're matched up with a partner, you guys can come and get your revision list. Your job is to find a spot in the room. Please be so careful with your Chromebooks. All you need to have with you in the room, in your spot in the room, is this packet, a pencil, and your Chromebook. You don't even need headphones right now. So packet, pencil, Chromebook. You have your folders out because where do I expect this packet at the end? In your folder. If you come to me tomorrow and say I lost it, I'm going to say that's a bummer. You just lost a whole day's of credit. All right? It does. So today and the next 2 days, you are going to be working to revise. We're making these sound better now. We're cleaning them up, putting the finishing polish on. So your job is to find a partner, match up with your partner, come to me for your packet. Go ahead.